everyone. I just wanted to film and practice, but I think it's too loud. I have a lot of deadlines coming. One of them is towards the end of next week, and I have been procrastinating for a long while and not doing the work because my body has my body is not supporting me in the sense that I'm forcing myself to work. My body's like, no, like enough is enough. And it's the second semester, it's almost the end, and yeah. And I did some intense exercises on workouts on Thursday, and I have really bad cramps. And right now I'm filming this, and that's also another form of procrastination. And it makes me just realize how much I missed filming. During the pandemic, I spent an unintentional gap year where I couldn't find jobs. So I just started a YouTube channel and I started filming just for the fun of it, filming art videos, poetry and all the like. And I loved it actually. And I didn't really care if it wasn't getting as much of a feedback, but my first video got like 100 views or so. And I was like, oh my god, that's something I could do. So I'm doing this right now. And I have missed filming so much. I missed talking to the camera or like scripting, filming and editing and telling stories so much. And that's why I'm just kind of like right now, getting into this practice again, side by side, along with my studies, because I don't think I will ever give it up anytime soon. I just love doing it, and ever since I was a kid, I would take a lot of photos, I would film a lot of videos, and I would just be doing this for the sake of it, like for the fun. I loved editing. Back then there was the Windows Movie Maker, so I would just do it on that. And yeah, it's something that I cannot really like explain in words, like why I love it. There's some things that you're passionate about, and it falls into place naturally. So yeah, that's the thing. So coming back to the procrastination and the deadlines, I'm tackling it one by one, day by day, trying to take it a day at a time. And as my teacher said, set realistic goals. Don't overestimate the work you can do in one day. So set realistic goals and get to it. So I'm gonna get to it, and right now I'm just letting it out here. I've been journaling regularly as well lately, but I feel like the stuff I share with my journal, it's not always the stuff that I can share with my camera. With here, I can talk about general stuff, but in there I get deeper, and I would love to I would love to film some journal entries as well, because some of them I feel can apply to a lot of people who might be going through a similar thing. So yeah. Another thing is that I haven't been painting for a long while. It's so intense that I haven't had the time to, maybe it's not that I haven't had the time, but I am so anxiety ridden, I'm so anxious about my studies and trying to make it, that I won't dedicate time to painting or just winding down as much, because in my mind I feel like if I spend time painting or doing other stuff, I might fail my semester, and that's a fear I have to confront, and I have to rationalize with myself and tell myself it doesn't work this way. You have to balance. You cannot do too much of one thing and expect yourself to succeed. But it's really bad because I'm sort of an extremist, and I'm like, just like they say, go big or go home. And in terms of studies, I'm like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of studies and make sure I get there. But this is not the way to be, and I'm rationalizing with myself right now and telling myself that I do have to take some time for myself in terms of relaxing and painting, especially like painting brings me a lot of joy, and also filming videos. So one of these steps that I'm taking is by making this video, and another is that I'm gonna try and continue to paint. I have been painting a little bit, but that was for my project, not for myself. So it's something different. Even though it's graphic design and we can paint sometimes, but it's not like the same thing in the sense that it's not fine art. So I have to calibrate and measure and see to what degree I should pursue a certain thing. Because another dilemma I could say is that I have a lot of interests, and that kind of, when you're in all these directions, all these different directions, it kind of makes you lose your momentum, because sometimes you just have to be laser focused in a certain path. And I have noticed in my life that there's been seasons of everything. There's seasons where I paint, there's seasons where I majorly write or write poetry, there are seasons where I majorly do some digital design stuff, for example, and it's all right. I shouldn't fear that I won't ever paint again, because if it's something, you know those people, like, since I'm an artist, I call myself an artist and I'm an artist, and those people who cannot go without creating something, otherwise they feel like something is dying inside of them. So yeah, if you are someone who feels like you cannot go without being creative, or like not just being creative, but you cannot go without creating something with your hands, something tangible with your hands, maybe like pottery or embroidery, knitting, etc., I don't think you can ever give it up, because your soul will always tell you to go back to it. And that's a really good thing, actually, because that means you won't be violating your soul purpose in a way, because your soul knows the way, and you will be following your soul path, or something that you are called to do. And it doesn't mean that you're knitting for a living, it doesn't mean that you're doing pottery for a living, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It can mean different things for different people, for everyone's path is different. You could be doing a day job, 9 to 5, for example, and then you could be doing these things as your hobbies, because we have romanticized the notion of monetizing our hobbies so much that everything feels like it needs to have a monetary value added to it, and it's really disturbing to me. We have forgotten the art of doing things for the joy of it. So I'm telling myself, this is a note to myself, actually, to tap into the joy without attaching a monetary value to anything. Just do it for the sake of it, for the joy of it, and that's how you will reach your state of flow. That's how you will relinquish, that's how you will rejuvenate your soul. So yeah, that's my advice to myself, I guess.